everyone, this is Brian from ActiveMelody.com. Well, this week we're going to take a look at a David Rawlings style lead. And Dave Rawlings is one of my favorite guitar players. He's just so tasty in the notes that he chooses. He's the guitar player that plays with Gillian Welch. They're a duo. And so make sure you check them out. Gillian Welch, it's Gillian Welch, or David Rawlings. He's got his own band, which is the Dave Rawlings Machine. But anyway, I had a request this week come in from somebody that asked for a Dave Rawlings style lesson. I thought that'd be perfect. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to break down everything that I played in the intro note for note and show you how to play all of that. If you want to download the tablature and the jam track that was used, the jam track's pretty critical for this one. And it's nice too because it's just a guitar, so it's really just two guitars for this. And that's how David and Gillian might approach something like this. But anyway, you can get all of that at ActiveMelody.com. Just look for EP068. That's the lesson number for this lesson. So let's go ahead and take a look at part one. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to mention that when Dave Rawlings plays, oftentimes you'll see him playing with a capo. So usually, well, if he's playing with Gillian Welch, a lot of times he'll be here on the 4th fret or sometimes the 3rd fret. And the reason for that is it allows him to use his same set of licks that have those open strings that ring out. And just by putting the capo at different positions of the neck, it allows you to keep using those same licks. And some artists do that. Albert Collins, for example, would often use, well, he would always use a capo. So it just depends on what key he was in. He would just put his capo down. But I didn't want to do the capo for this lesson because I thought that might be a little bit confusing to some of you. And also, some of you may not even have a capo. All right, so this little progression is really just 3 chords. It's just a C chord. Very simple. And then it goes to an F chord. And then it goes to a G chord. And then back to the C. So it's just C, F, and G. And if you're on the Active Melody website right now, and you're at EP068, that's a lesson number for this lesson, you'll be able to download the tablature, the jam track. And the jam track is really critical for this. It sets the timing, and it also really helps you practice this style. But if you don't have the jam track and you're not a premium member, you can record your own jam track. It's just those 3 chords, C, F, and G. And that's all the jam track is this week. It's literally just one guitar. There's no keyboard, no drums, no bass. I wanted to stay kind of true to what Dave and Gillian would do, and that's kind of how their how they would do that. So the first lick that I play goes like this. So let's look at that. It's just some double stops, and the first one is really just 2 of the notes that are already in the C chord. So if you know how to make a C chord, just take away your ring finger, and it's just these 2. Pointer finger on the 1st fret, 2nd string, middle finger on the 2nd fret, 4th string, and it's those 2. Now the way that I do double stops, and I recommend you learn how to do this if you don't, is I do a combination of using a pick and then using my finger. It's called hybrid picking. So I use the pick on the 4th string, then I use my ring finger here on the 2nd string like this. So let me get an angle where you can see that. And I use that a lot. It really allows you to do stuff like that, you could do that with a pick. But you can see how much more movement my hand has to do. And so I'm always trying to simplify, and you should too. Always try and simplify your whatever it is you're doing so that it's easier. So that's how I do that. It's a hybrid pick. So that's the first part of that. Just those 2 notes in the C chord. Okay, so then we go to this. Now for this shift, all I'm doing, notice the middle finger stays down on the fretboard, and it just goes from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret. So that's easy. The pointer finger comes off the fretboard. That's easy. Now, then you have your ring finger, which now goes down. It's already in position anyway. It goes down on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. So again, you're just picking strings 4 and 2. So it's 4, 2. So you have that progression. Now watch this. You just slide everything up 2 frets. Keep the positions exactly the same. So we're going to be on the 5th fret now, playing strings 4 and 2. So let's walk that up. Here's how it's played. Very, very slow. Now notice the picking pattern there. I played 4-2, 4-2, 4, and then I slide up. So it's 4-2, 4-2, 4, slide 2. Let's try that again slowly. 4-2, 4-2, 4, slide 2. So I go 4-2, 4 the second time, and then the slide. Just like that. The next thing that's played is this little run that goes like this. Let me show you that. Now, one thing Dave Rawlings will do is oftentimes he'll play notes that you wouldn't think would work. So this is the point where we go to an F chord, but he plays an open, it's an A note, but the open fifth string, which you wouldn't normally think to play over an F chord. But somehow it just works. And his whole style, and what intrigues me about the way that he plays is he's always kind of sending the listener on a ride. You really never know what's around the next curve. It's not very predictable, and he'll play notes like things like that just almost make you cringe. It's like fingers on a chalkboard, but he has a way to make them work. And so this is an example to me. I mean, I just would never think to play an A note over that F chord, but it does work. So let's look at that run. So we're going to come here to the, I'm going to put my pointer finger down on the 1st fret 2nd string. Then my ring finger goes down on the 3rd fret 2nd string so that I can do a pull off like this. Now after I do that pull off, watch this. This is pretty easy. Then we're just going to play the open 3rd string, open 4th string, and the open 5th string. So just like that. Now, there's one other note that I didn't mention. To start that, you actually play the open 3rd string, or the G string, and then you do the pull off. So, right down to that A note. And when you're hearing it out of context without the jam track, it almost sounds wrong. But when you play that over the chords, you'll see it does work in a strange way. Okay, so let's back up and play everything up to that point. I'll play it slowly. We have... Now, while I'm playing those 3 open notes, since my left hand doesn't really have to do anything, that gives me a chance to put it in position for the next thing that's going to happen. So when I'm playing the G, D, and A, what I do is I go ahead and put it in position for the F chord. Now I'm not playing a full F chord. Some of you may know how to make an F chord like this. That's how I learned to make it. Some of you may do it a full F chord with a bar, so you get all 6 strings. But this time we're only going to play the first 4 strings of the F chord. So like that. That allows that A note, or that 5th string, to ring out. So, and you can see what I'm doing there is when I play the F chord, I'm just going A, 5, these are the string numbers, 5, 4, 3, 2. So, real quick refresher on the F chord. To make this is one of the most challenging chords if you're new to playing, but it's, you're barring the first 2 strings here on the 1st fret, and the tension is really tough there, so that's what makes it one of the things that makes it hard. So those 2 strings are at the same time with your pointer finger, middle finger down on the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then ring finger down on the 3rd fret 4th string. So all together, you have those 4 strings. Now you put that in combination with that low A note, or the low 5th string, and that's what you get. Okay, so that's what I did. And there may be an easier way to do that for you. It may be easier for you to just go ahead and make the F chord like this with your pinky, and then push down your ring finger here for the 5th string. But it was easier for me, I found, just because I'm so used to making an F this way, what I did was I played it like that, and then I just went up here and I took my ring finger and pushed it down on the 5th fret. I'm sorry, the 5th string on the 3rd fret. And then my pinky came down and replaced where my ring finger was. So that's back to making a full F chord the way that I learned how to make it. Well, it's not a full. It doesn't include the low 6th string, but the 5 strings. So that's what you're doing is you're creating. That's the next note you're creating is that 3rd fret 5th string. So let me play it in context. So the notes again are the string numbers are 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2. And you can just see what's happening there. Those 2 fingers are just switching places. Ring finger goes up to the 5th string, pinky goes down on the 4th string. And that, I know there's probably easier ways for you to do that. Like I said, you may want to start that with the pinky there so that you're just pushing this one down. But it was faster for me to go like that. Okay, let's back up. We have now the next chord, check this out. Wow, that's very different, but very cool. Isn't that awesome? Something that you would not think to play, especially over a that kind of strum style, but it creates a weird atmosphere when you hear the 2 pieces put together. And so I have a lot of respect for Dave Rawlings because he's such an artist, and he's pulling this stuff from all kinds of different influences. But that to me is just very clever. And so the chord there is actually really easy to play. It's the pointer finger goes down on the 1st fret 2nd string, and then the ring finger goes down on the 3rd fret 4th string, and it's just those 2 fingers. And what you're playing is strings 4, 3, 2, and 1. So it's 4, 3, 2, 1, and the 3rd string and the 1st string just ring out. That's just the open, the open 3 and the open 1, the G string and the E string. So that's how that sounds. So let's put that into context. So we have so you can hear what the bass notes are doing. They're going A, C, and then it's an F. So it's here. Let's listen to the bass notes. So if you didn't do all the other, the other notes picked out of that, it would just be. Okay, now we get to this fun little, I love this part. Check this out. It goes. Isn't that cool? It's a little bit of fingers on the chalkboard when you analyze it, but it's so cool. And it's really easy to do. So here's how that part goes. So we're up here, remember? Making this chord. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my ring finger down. Take my pointer finger off. I'm going to put my pinky down on the 3rd fret 2nd string. And what we're going to do is we're only going to play strings 4, 3, and 2. Just those middle strings there. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Now watch this. In essence, the thing to pay attention to is the walk down. Here's the walk down. Just the single notes of the walk down. So you can see it starts here on the 3rd fret 2nd string, and it just goes straight down, fret by fret. Open, back to the 3rd fret, this time on the 3rd string, 2nd, 1st, open. So it's just a straight walk down. Now let's add in a few other notes. So remember we started with this. So watch this. So you can see I'm using my pinky there for that. Now I'm going to use my middle finger, pointer finger, and then finger off the fretboard. So you're kind of really just strumming those strings 4, 3, and 2. That time you just play the single note. So strum it, single note, and then strum it. Now keep the ring finger down, stays down the whole time. Watch this. Pinky comes down this time onto the 3rd string, 3rd fret, and check this out. Wait. That time I just play the single note, so it's 3rd fret, 3rd string, and again, it's just a clash. It sounds terrible. But then we resolve it by going. And for those, I'm just really playing strings 4 and 3. So the first time through we play strings 4, 3, and 2, remember? Now we're going to play strings 4 and 3. And really all I'm doing for that, the first time when I play the pinky note, it's just by itself. When I play that note, or that part, I'm playing strings 4 and 3. And then I just kind of let that ring out, and what's ringing out is the 4th string here. And notice I'm just walking down 2nd fret, 1st fret, open, while letting that note ring out. 4th string, 3rd fret. So let me back up and play that slowly. Okay? Now, the next thing that happens is that. It's a switch to get you back to the C chord. Very easy to do. Ring finger goes down on the 3rd fret, 4th string, and we're going to play strings 4, 3, 2. Now I'm going to go down on the 1st fret, 4th string, and we're going to play 4, 3, and 2 again. 4, 3, 2. And now we're going to play the C chord. It's just the top part of the C chord, minus your ring finger. So you're playing strings 4, 3, and 2 again of the C chord. Alright, let's back up and play everything up to that point. That's really the first part of this. So I always like to have kind of 2 parts to these things to keep it interesting. So that's kind of the first half. So let's back up and cover all of that from the beginning. Here we go. I'll go slowly. There's one other part to get us to the end of the loop I forgot, which is a really cool part. Check this out. Isn't that awesome? I love this lick. Now what makes that cool is this clash again, where where you've got that open note, and you would not think that those two would go together, and your ear tells you that they don't when you hear them on their own, but when you hear it in context, it works. So let's learn that. It's actually pretty easy to do. I'm going to take my ring finger and middle finger, and we're going to go down to the 4th fret. So ring finger goes down on the 2nd string, middle finger goes down on the 4th string. And we're going to play strings 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can see there's two strings that are ringing out. The 1 and the 3 string are just ringing out open strings. Again, that speaks to why he uses the capo. So if he were in another key, to get this lick, he's going to have to capo that, and then you play the lick here. So that just, hopefully that clicks with you as to why you would need, why some artists use capos when they're playing, and that, you know, it allows you to take a lick like that and put it in another key. There's no way you could do that like without it. Okay, so there's the first 4 notes. Now check this out. What you do after that is you just come down here and play a C chord, and you play strings 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right out of the C chord. So sorry. So just practice your timing, switching back and forth from this little position to the C chord. And when you get it, put the two pieces together, it should flow like you're going up a scale and down it. So, sorry, wrong place. Here we go. And when I practice that's exactly how I was doing it. I was just going back and forth, trying to get the timing, trying to get it fluid. Okay, so then when you get to the bottom of the C chord, then I just walk back up like that. And for that, I hold the C chord, and then I take my middle finger off and play the open 4th string, and then I do a hammer-on like that. So that hammer-on goes from, it's just completing the C chord, so it's the 4th string, 2nd fret. Then we're going to play string 2, or sorry, string 3, and then string 2 from the C chord. So all together, that little turnaround part goes. And that's the whole lick. Now, isn't that an awesome lick? If you're ever playing something, have a little jam with somebody and you're playing in the key of C, you can always resort to this, or even parts of it. It's a lot of fun to play that. So, okay, let's do one final backup. I know some of this is redundant, but I think it helps people to continue to cover it. Let me go over everything one more time, and I'll add in that little turnaround. So here we go. Now, if you're a premium member, you can move on to part 2, and we'll cover the notes that were played higher in the neck.